Hey there, me and a friend are climbing up a nice multi-pitch climb here in Squamish. This is a very famous one, Banana Peel. We're at the base of this 5'7" slab pitch right here, where you have this nice 3-point anchor. And I wanted to take this specific spot to talk about how to belay from above. Just something that I haven't talked about yet in my videos. Now there are 3 ways we usually cover how to belay from above. I'm going to start with lesser practiced ways, and then I'm going to move into the common standard practice that we use. So a lot of people will actually learn how to do this specific setup first. Here's my tie-in right here. Here's the tie-in of my friend actually, but let's say we're belaying another person up. And a lot of people they'll take their plate, they'll just belay from their belay loop with the other person on top rope. Let themselves through like this. And there we have it. So here's the person coming up on this strand right here. As they come up, I just do my standard top rope belay. Now this practice does have a few pitfalls. One is if they're a lot heavier than me and they happen to fall, I can be sucked in all the way to the anchor, which could compromise my ability to belay, as well as ability to hold my climber. Other factors include if I have to perform some sort of rescue because my friend is hurt, it could be really difficult to escape the belay when I'm so incorporated in the system. Yeah, as well as if my anchor isn't as strong as I would like it to be, it does put a 2-to-1 force on my anchor. And so I'm pulling, what that means is I'm pulling back and my friend is pulling on the other side if they fall. And so that puts additional force onto my anchor, which may not be favorable depending on the circumstances. Generally, we're not building anchors where that's a problem, or if there is a problem, they'll put a bolt or 2 bolts in. But those anchors do exist out there, and belaying like this could make them not exist anymore. So here's the other method that we could use. I put a moonter hitch on my anchor, and then this is what I'm going to belay up my friend with. If they happen to fall, the hitch will just flip like so, and then I got them. All I have to do to maintain the braking in the rope is hold both the brake strand and the load strand parallel to each other. That's how this particular hitch locks off on itself. A great part about this hitch is if I do need to escape the belay for any sort of rescue purposes, all I have to do is tie it off simply by going like the moonter hitch. You can refer to my knots video on how to tie that. And there you go. Now I'm separated from the system and I can begin rigging some sort of tandem rappel or any sort of rescue situation that I want to do at that point. So that is a very nice part about the moonter hitch. The problem is it does twist the rope and it will kink your rope a bit faster on longer routes. It may not be favorable. And also I have to constantly pay attention to my climber, which could be a bit of a problem, especially if I can't see them or anything. It's really easy for people's mind to wander. And if they fall and get going with this because you didn't maintain your brake hand enough, that could be quite a bit of a problem. So there are still parts of the world that will use moonter hitches a lot, as well as they have a lot of application in guiding to use a moonter hitch, and other forms of climbing as well, just not the best in a multi-pitch sense, especially when we have the even better fallback to go on to. Now I'm going to take the carabiner off. There we go. What I do is this is always set up on my ATC, one small D carabiner, one large parabiner. I take the D carabiner, clip it into the master point of my anchor, and that ring on your ATC, this is the Black Diamond ATC guide. Petzl Reverso is also equivalent. Any sort of belay from above device, you want to make sure that your device is enabled with guide mode. That's kind of the idea. That's what this ring is all about. I take that ring, clip it into my D carabiner, and I can lock that down if it's not an auto locker. Now, following the pictures on the device, the climber and the brake strand, I'm going to stick the rope in accordingly. Load it just like you would for belaying off your harness. take that carabiner, the big carabiner, and lock both the keeper strap and the rope. Pull it tight. And I can test to make sure that I've loaded it right by taking the climber's end of the rope and tugging on it. If the rope doesn't move, then that's how you know you've loaded it correctly. Now I can pull in rope, and I can pull in rope all the way. If the climber happens to fall, this device will lock both strands in place, and now the climber is loaded the strand. You'll notice how it does feel like an auto-locking device, but this device is not hands-free. So you got to keep your hand on the brake strand. If at any point you have to go hands-free for whatever reason, your climber's weighted the rope, you can always tie an overhand knot or some sort of blocker knot in the system. So that way, if this does fail for whatever reason, that blocker knot stops the whole system. So that's not going anywhere with that knot in there. And so that's how you can back up the device. This is the common way how you'll see belaying from above done in North America, and it's really great because you can be throwing rope through and you can look at other things because you do have that extra backup. You'll notice how all the anchor, or if the climber falls, all their weight is transferred onto the anchor, and it's overall just what America has gone for, what the industry standard has gone for. So, thank you for listening.